why Germans can say things no one else can. So obviously there is a very interesting way Germans speak when it comes to how they speak their language and whatnot. It took me a while to kind of catch on some of the pronunciation of certain words and connotations and phrases and stuff in German. Man, the h and sh and all that good stuff, even the way you guys pronounce your R's, bro, are insane. It's crazy. But then getting more specific into phrases, right? Like there are certain phrases in German that have no translation in English, and I think that is absolutely maddening, and in a good way, because that's just German's own thing. It's like the German language's own thing. So we're gonna be diving into this, why Germans can say things that no one else can, and hopefully find out why that is, if there's more context as to why there are phrases and words that can't be translated into English or any other language. It's just something you got to understand the language to know. Like the word doch, it's like the perfect counter to anything. It's like, man, you didn't go to the store today, and you're like, doch. And it's like, I actually did, and doch, you know what it is, but you can't exactly explain what it is. The best way I can explain is it's like a counter argument in one word, But anyways, I digress. Let's go ahead and dive nose deep into this thing. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And, follow me on Twitch if you guys want to catch, me live and whatnot, and hang out with the Bray Gang.
To help us express what we really think and feel. But some languages are better than others at crisply naming important feelings. Germans have been geniuses at inventing long, or what get called compound words that elegantly put a finger on sensations that we all know, but that other languages require whole clumsy sentences or paragraphs to express.
True, but then inversely too, there are words and phrases in German that do they basically describe the item that you're using, like a kettle, right? A kettle in German is a Wasserkocher, and I'm like, bro, a water cooker.
So here is a small selection of the best of Germany's extraordinary range of compound words.
Frühjahrsmüdigkeit.
Erklärungsnot. Literally a distress at not having an explanation. The perfect way to define what a partner might feel when they're caught watching.
Ooh! Caught watching that stuff, man. That's the perfect explanation when the partner is caught watching that. I gotta find the little. There we go. Caught watching this. Yes, sir.
Porn, or are spotted in a restaurant with a hand they shouldn't be holding. More grandly, Erklärungsnot.
Erklärungsnot. Am I saying that right? Rate my German on 1 to 10. My pronunciation. Erklärungsnot.
Is something we feel when we realize we don't have any explanations for the big questions of life. It's a word that defines existential angst as much as shame.
Interesting.
Futterneid.
Futterneid.
When you're eating with other people and realize that they've ordered something better off the menu that you'd be dying to eat yourself.
That's the same feeling every girlfriend, wife, partner experiences when they go on a date or an outing with their significant other to a restaurant or a place that has food. They order food, they look at what they got, they look at what their partner got, and they're like, you know what? You probably picked the better option. That is officially our food. And I'm like, oh my God. So they got a word for it. I'm glad they got a word for it, man. Y'all got a word for this. Who would have thought, bro? It's called Futterneid. So how would you use this in a sentence? Hast du Futterneid? Oder was?
Perhaps you were trying to be abstemious. Now you're just starving. The word recognizes that we spend much of our lives feeling we've ordered the wrong thing, and not just in restaurants.
It could also be in relationships too.
Luftschloss.
Luftschloss. Air castle. What?
Literally a castle in the air, a dream that's unattainable.
Okay.
A word suggesting that German culture is deeply indulgent about big dreams. But
why is there a cow on a surfboard? Is that the dream? A cow surfing in the ocean? That is like, I guess that's a Luftschloss.
Also gently realistic about how hard it can be to bring them off.
Interesting.
Backpfeifengesicht.
Backpfeifengesicht. I have heard this. Backpfeifengesicht?
A face that's begging to be slapped.
Basically, we have a term for that in America, or, you know, it can even be in the UK or Australia, but a punchable face. Backpfeifengesicht. So like a punchable, that's basically a punchable face, or a face that needs to be slapped, right? Some people just got RBF, or resting bitch face. So, you know, it's crazy, man. People just they're born looking like that. They can't really help it. They look fucked up. It's like, oh man, like they look like they have an attitude a little bit, but that's just how they normally hold their face. And because of that, they have beef with random people because random people don't like them. Damn.
Generosity towards others is key, but German is bracing and frank enough to acknowledge that there are also moments when it's simply more honest to realize we may have come face to face with a dickhead.
True.
Ruinenlust.
Ruinenlust. See, like the way that this man pronounces his R, that to me is nutty. Now, the first part of the video where I was explaining that, like, there's things that Germans can say that, you know, no one else can, like the way that you guys pronounce your H's, your R's, all that good stuff. This video is actually referring to the second part of what I said in the beginning of this video, which is phrases that don't have any direct translation into other languages, right? Like, we don't have one word for some of the words that German has. We understand what the word means, but there's not a direct translation. There's a brief synopsis so we can kind of understand it, but there's not an official direct translation to English. Like, what we would have to say in English would require far more words than what you guys would have to use in German. But inversely, there are words that y'all use in German where we have one word for that in English, you know? So, but I feel like in those situations, you guys just use the English word because you guys have interwoven English in your language so much that I have heard English and Deutsch kind of just blended together kind of harmoniously. So the way that he pronounced his R, right? Ruinenlust. Like, let me rewind that shit real quick. Hold on.
This word shows German at its
hold
most
on. Right here.
Ruinenlust.
Ruinenlust. Like the way he said Ruinenlust. It sounds like he's hacking. Ruinenlust. Is that like how you say Ruinenlust?
This word shows German at its most delightfully fetishistic and particular, meaning the delight one can feel at seeing ruins.
So the pleasure in seeing chaos. You like to see things fall apart. Ruinenlust. So ruinlust. The word ruin is literally in Ruinenlust. You say it differently. So a lust for watching things fail.
Collapse.
Basically, if you have a full-time job as a hater, this would be you.
Palaces and the rubble of temples put anxieties about the present into perspective and induce a pleasing melancholy at the passage of all things. Kummerspeck.
Kummerspeck, I've heard this.
Sorrow fat. A word that frankly recognizes how often, when one is deeply sad, there is simply nothing more consoling to do than to head for the kitchen and eat.
That's so gross, bro. That's so fucking gross. Fremdschämen. Bro, Fremdschämen, this is like, isn't that like secondhand embarrassment?
A word full of empathy that captures the agony one can feel at somebody else's embarrassing misfortune.
Yeah, so if you see, I'll give you an example. There's a couple that goes and gets married, right? Out of the couple, I have no idea how, but let's just say in this example, the soon-to-be wife's ex is in the crowd, and you know how they say in the ceremony, does anybody object to these two getting married? Right? Well, obviously, a Fremdschämen moment would be someone standing up and saying, actually, I'm madly in love with Sarah. We should be together. We shared all these awesome experiences. Why did you leave me? And then everybody in the crowd is like, oh my God, who let this man in? Get him out, get him out, get him out, get him out. Like he's unapologetically, spilling his love for the bride who already has a groom on stage. They about to get married, and this third person is professing his love to the bride, and everybody in the audience is embarrassed and just like they're embarrassed for him. Like, why would you say some shit like that? You know what I mean? It's an extreme example, but you catch my drift.
Nor failure. A capacity to feel Fremdschämen is a high moral achievement.
True.
And is at the root of kindness.
Obviously, you don't have to use my example. That was a little extreme, but there's other moments, right? Like this is a perfect example. Someone dancing at a bar, right? Everybody else is just chilling, whatever. You got the one person who's drunk and just dancing, and everyone's like, "Ooh,
Weltschmerz.
Weltschmerz.
Literally, world sadness. A word that acknowledges that we are sometimes sad not about this or that thing, but about the whole basis of existence. The presence of the word indicates a culture that isn't falsely cheerful, but takes tragedy as a given. It is immensely reassuring to be able to tell a friend that one is presently lying under the duvet, suffering from Weltschmerz.
Weltschmerz.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Harm, happiness. So this is like happiness from like embarrassment or something, like, right?
We're meant to be sad when others fail, but...
Yeah, okay, this kind of sounds like Ruinenlust, right? It's similar, a similar definition. I think I messed up the definition for Ruinenlust. Schadenfreude is like, a door smacks in this lady's face, and, you low-key laugh at it. You're like, ha, ha, ha. You found happiness in someone else's pain.
German more wisely accepts that we often feel happiness, Freude, at the misfortunes, the Schaden of others. That isn't because we're mean.
Hey, that's bogus, bro.
We just feel deeply reassured when we see confirmation that life is as hard for
Dang, bro, she got to pull a blood coming from her head. Damn.
other people as it is for us.
That is
We
mean.
can thank German for having so many of the right words to bring dignity to our troubles and hopes.
Hey, for real though, like I didn't even know that there was like words for this type of feeling. It's just, we just say stuff like, oh, that's messed up. Sometimes we just do messed up stuff.
Learning languages ultimately has little to do with discovering the world per se. It's about acquiring tools to help us get a clearer grasp on the elusive parts of ourselves.
Crazy. Well, that was very informative, and I learned a lot. I learned that a lot of the feelings that I've been feeling over the last few years and stuff have words that are associated with them, even though in English it'd be those same emotions would be described with like paragraphs or phrases. In German, it would be one word. One word. Out of all of them, Ruinenlust is my favorite to pronounce, and Schadenfreude is something that I feel like I exercise quite a bit. I don't know why, but I laugh at the absolute worst times. Somebody could like stub their toe and I'm on the ground laughing my butt off. Okay. Pretty sure we can all relate to some degree. But you guys have a good one. Make sure you subscribe for more. I think I'm dropping 2 other videos today, but if not, we'll see. But I'll see you guys soon. Follow me on Twitch though. Links in the description.